Good job, Taiwan. Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and I'm going to start with a sentence that people complain about me using in my videos, but events here in Taiwan this week have proven to me it's 100% true. I absolutely love this country, and you've probably already inferred from the title that the reason I'm saying this is on Friday, May 17th, 2019, Taiwan became the first country in Asia to legalize same-sex marriage. Yep, literally as I was in the middle of filming my last episode criticizing the government's construction of Taichung's MRT, our country's president, Taiyuan, or Vegetable English, as I jokingly call her in English class, well, she was putting her neck and political career on the line and going against the result of what was a pretty complicated referendum in which the Taiwanese public had voted against the legalization of same-sex marriage, and as of May 24th, 2019, Taiwan will be joining the first world and these other countries around the world in allowing any grown adult that happens to be in love with any other grown adult to marry and enjoy all the benefits of any other married couple in the country. So, of course, here I am as a proud permanent resident Brit living here to have my say on the matter and try my best to explain what has already been a very lengthy and complicated legal process. And first of all, I want to start on that referendum that I mentioned, because as with any change in a country's law or civil code, things were very complicated regarding this matter in the lead up to and following the referendum. I won't get into too many details, firstly because it'd make the video too long, and secondly, it's full of too much legal jargon for me to truly understand. But basically, there was a group who were vehemently opposed to the legalization of same-sex marriage, and they managed to get enough signatures on a petition in order to force the government to add several questions on the subject into a referendum. Apparently, if you can get 1.5% of the electorate to agree with you and sign a petition, that's enough to hold a referendum. I think it was about 280,000 people on this matter. But anyway, yes, these questions that they put to the people were criticized for being a little confusing and overly wordy, and rather than just asking, do you think same-sex marriage should be legal, the question asked a rather convoluted, do you agree that marriage defined in the civil code should be restricted to the union between one man and one woman, which to me seems a little bit misleading. But anyway, the results of this referendum came out 73% against the legalization of same-sex marriage, which at the time seemed like a slap in the face to those in same-sex relationships just wanting to be accepted as equal as all other married couples. But they needn't have worried, because despite all of her faults, and as with any president, she has many, the President Tsai Ing-wen and her government were already on the case, because in fact, back in 2017, a legendary figure in Taiwan's pro same-sex marriage community, Chi Chia-wei, sorry about the pronunciation, but yes, he had actually already begun a legal process of his own after having his application for a same-sex marriage rejected back in 2013, and he was asking the court to focus on whether Taiwan's civil code should allow same-sex marriage, and if not, whether that actually violated articles under the Constitution of the Republic of China pertaining to equality and the freedom to marry. Very complicated stuff, I know, but the court issued its ruling in what is sure to become a very famous law in the future, Judicial Yuan Interpretation number 748. That was back on May 24th, 2017, and that found that this statutory ban on same-sex marriage in Taiwan Civil Code was in violation of both the People's Freedom to Marry Act and the People's Right to Equality as guaranteed by Article 7 of the Constitution. Therefore, the provision defining marriage of between one man and one woman are unconstitutional. And the court requested that the Legislative Yuan amend existing laws or create new laws that are compliant with its ruling. So, even before the referendum had been held, a full week before the vote, the government announced that the Constitutional Court ruling would still go into effect in May 2019, regardless of the referendum results. And back in November 2018, the Executive Yuan's spokesperson stated that a draft of a special law to regulate same-sex marriage would be submitted to the Legislative Yuan within 3 months. So here we are, 5 or 6, yeah, let's get the glasses cleaned, you donut. So here we are, 5 or 6 months later, and after more legal hullabaloo over things such as the wording that can be used to describe the marriage, and some pretty homophobic politicians trying to have the word spouse banned between same-sex couples, but on May 17, 2019, the DPP-controlled Legislative Yuan approved same-sex marriage in Taiwan, with lawmakers voting 66 to 27 in favor of it. This made Taiwan the first country in Asia to legalize same-sex marriage. Tsai Ing-wen has indicated that she will sign the bill into law on or before May 24th. That's this Friday. An absolutely monumental event in our country's history, as yes, of course it's nice for all the people that it directly affects that can now marry whomever they choose, but this event represents much, much more than this single change in law. It demonstrates Taiwan's strength in the face of adversity, how Taiwan isn't afraid to stand up to bullies, and how Taiwan will stand up for any of their citizens when they feel a minority group is being unfairly persecuted. And actually, it's not just citizens that will benefit from this law, because according to the existing act governing the choice of law in civil matters involving foreign elements, Taiwan citizens can now also marry foreign same-sex spouses, providing that they are citizens of countries where same-sex marriage is also legal. So this law just adds to the welcoming nature of Taiwan, making foreign people coming here, whether part of the LGBTQ community or not, feel much more accepted, rather than feeling outcast or excluded as they may do in some other Asian countries. And I don't want to sound too patronizing or preachy, but from my view, the greatest thing we can do for another person is to let them feel loved and welcomed rather than hated or excluded. I really couldn't be prouder to say that Taiwan is my home, because lest we forget that in some Asian countries they are still executing people for engaging in same-sex relationships. But Taiwan has simply done the right thing, and as I mentioned earlier, joined the first world in accepting the undeniable fact that any grown adult can happen to fall in love with any other grown adult, regardless of gender, and wish to marry that person. As many social media posts I have read stated, love won. And on that rather beautiful phrase, I will bring this video to a close, and thank you all for watching, especially those of you that are here to the very end of the video. You know you're my favorites, not like those quitters who leave halfway through. And I'd love to get your comments on the subject down below. Anything you have to say about the matter, then start a discussion in the comment section down below. But I will warn you on this particular subject, if you don't have anything nice to say, then don't say anything at all. Nasty, horrible, negative comments will be deleted from this video. But yes, I'm just hoping that this comment section will definitely be full of positivity and well wishes to all of the people in the country who can now enjoy the freedom and equality that they deserve. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time in my life in Taiwan. Peace.